We wrap up this 10th hour here on Classic Radio Shows, brought to you by Mount Wheeler Power, our annual Christmas production, with an episode of the Mel Blanc Show, the man who brought you Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd, all those great voices. Mel Blanc, this episode of the program goes all the way back to December 24th, 1946.
Colgate Tooth Powder presents the Mel Blanc Show with Mary Jane Croft, Joe Kearns, Jerry Hausner, Hans Conried, the sportsman, Victor Miller and his orchestra, and starring the creator of the voice of Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc?
Yes, Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you the Mel Blanc Show with Mel playing his new character, Zookie.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi.
And starring himself in person, Mel Blanc.
Hi, folks. Ugga, ugga, boo, ugga, boo, boo, ugga.
And in Mel Blanc's little town, all the I'll let it go until the last minute swains are feverishly buying gifts for their girlfriends. In the Furriers, we hear,
"This is a beautiful fur coat. Fine, I'll take it with me."
And further down the street, we hear,
"This is a beautiful handbag. Good. Wrap it up for me."
And still further down the street, where Mel Blanc is engaged in getting a gift for his girlfriend Betty, we hear,
"This is a beautiful watch."
Thanks, but can't you loan me more than $5 on it?
So Mel pawned the watch, and now we find him back in the fix-it shop figuring up the amount he has for Betty's gift.
Now, let's see. I borrowed $5. I pawned the watch for $5. I closed out my savings account at the bank. That's another $1. $11. What can I get Betty? Oh, I know. Every time I go to her house and we sit in the parlor, the lights go out. I ought to get her a flashlight. No, a flashlight isn't a gift for a woman. It isn't a gift for a man, either. It's really a gift for an usher. Oh, well, it's late. I better close the fix-it shop and buy the gift.
Hello, Mel.
Oh, hello, Betty. I didn't expect to see you here. I thought you'd be busy at your father's big Christmas party. How's it coming along?
Oh, fine. Except for Willie Murdoch. He's awfully fresh, you know. As soon as he came in, he tried to kiss me.
Kiss you? Why, I'll kill him.
Gosh, Mel, you should see how strong Willie is since he took those barbell exercises.
Strong? Well, Betty, it's a free country. Every man can do what he wants.
Oh, Mel, when you talk like that, I sometimes think you don't love me at all.
Oh, you know I do, Betty. Gosh, if we were only married, how wonderful it would be.
Yes. Every Christmas we'd have a tree.
And I'd come down the chimney, and on the mantelpiece would be your stocking and my stocking.
And maybe another stocking. Or 2. Or even 3.
Betty, how many feet does your father have? Gee, I wish I'd been invited to your father's party.
Oh, well, Mel, that's what I came down here for.
To invite me?
Yes, in fact, Father said, Betty, I want to make it possible for Mel Blanc to feel the warmth of Christmas spirit.
Well, I don't know, Betty. Last time your father said that, he got me halfway to the furnace.
Don't be silly, darling. Come on, they must be looking for me at the party.
Okay, Betty. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get something very important. I'll tell you what. You go on and I'll be there in a short while, huh?
Well, if it's that important, all right. I'll see you later, darling.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, what can I get for Betty? Gosh, she sure is beautiful. She looks just like the cover girl on this month's Drill Press Digest. Miss Conveyor Belt of 1947.
Hello, Mel.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Bradley, and Merry Christmas. What brings you in here at this late hour?
Well, Mel, you've been so nice all year fixing all of little Bobby's broken toys that I thought I'd bring you a Christmas present. Here.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mrs. Bradley. Just what I've always wanted. $1 bill. Oh, there's some writing here. To Mel, a Merry Christmas and a Happy Henry Morgenthau Jr. Oh, I'm reading your writing and the government's. Well, I've got to close up, Mrs. Bradley. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. What's the matter, Mrs. Bradley?
Oh, I was just thinking. You know, Mel, Bobby and I are alone, and for the past few years we haven't had any Santa Claus come down our chimney. Well, it's gotten so that Bobby doesn't believe there is a Santa Claus.
Oh, gosh, that's one of the worst things I know, a kid not believing in Santa Claus. Well, I've got to go, Mrs. Bradley.
Mel, I was just thinking that if you don't have anything important to do tonight, maybe you'd play Santa Claus for my Bobby.
Me play Santa?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Mrs. Bradley, I've got a very important...
Oh.
No. I don't have anything to do, anyway, not anything that's more important than making a kid believe in Santa Claus. I'll come down that chimney tonight. Oh, Zuki.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, Mel. Oh, hello, Mrs.
Bradley.
Thanks.
Now, look, Zuki, I want you to go over to Betty's house and tell her I'm sick.
But, Mel, what can he see is wrong with you?
Anything. Tell Betty I was bitten by a streptococcus. No, she just saw me. Oh, I know. Tell her I'm in the hospital. I tried to mail a package at the last minute. Mrs. Bradley, tonight I'm going to convince your son that there is a Santa Claus. Now, hurry up, Zuki.
Oh, thanks, Mel.
Oh, leave it to me, Mel. Hi-yo, Blitzen. Hello, everybody. Merry Happy New Year.
Come on in, Zookie. Well, how do you like me in my new dress, Zookie?
Cute. Hey, everybody, you want to hear me sing a Christmas carol?
Why, yes, Suki. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. In my merry Oldsmobile, in my merry Oldsmobile, in my merry Oldsmobile, in my merry Oldsmobile, with a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey, Zuki, where's Mel Blanc?
Oh, that's what I came to tell you. He can't come. He's got the moon in the moon. He's got he's got chicken. He can't make up his mind what he's got.
I don't know. Sounds very fishy to me. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a date with another girl.
He has. I mean, you know.
You mean he went out with another girl? Zookie, who is she?
Well, she's a widow. I mean, there isn't a... he ain't going out with the... No. And besides, I promised not to tell.
And he is going out with another girl.
You see? What did I tell you, Mr. Colby?
Betty, I told you that Mel Blanc's a scoundrel. Why, I'm going to break every bone in his body.
Oh, gee whiz. Mel is in a terrible state. He's doing somebody a favor. But Betty thinks he's doing something. Let's sing Christmas carols. In my merry old
Use Colgate tooth powder, keep smiling just right. Use it each morning and use it each night. Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
No kisses for you neath the mistletoe? Perhaps a breath of trouble scared off your beau. It's just too bad when that breath of trouble, unpleasing breath, catches up with a person. For it marks them down socially. So be on your guard. Do this. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate tooth powder. For Colgate tooth powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. What's more, no dentifrice at any price cleans your teeth more quickly and thoroughly than Colgate Tooth Powder. Remember to buy it first thing. And remember the name, Colgate Tooth Powder, with the accent on powder.
Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate Tooth Powder.
And now Mel Blanc joins the sportsman and Victor Miller in a holiday arrangement of Jingle Bells.
Through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go.
Oh, goodbye.
Laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring.
Clang, clang.
Making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. What fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle, little bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle, jingle, little bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride, glide, slide along in an open sleigh.
Well, Mel is in a jam again. His girl, Betty, thinks he's out with another girl. But actually, Mel has promised Widow Bradley he would play Santa Claus for her little son tonight. But no matter how much trouble he has, the wonderful thing about Mel is that he can always concentrate on his duties in the fix-it shop. Right now, his brilliant mind tackles the difficult problem of repairing a priceless violin left by a customer.
Gosh, why did I ever promise Mrs. Bradley I'd go to her house?
With skilled fingers and expert eye, he delicately tunes the sensitive instrument.
Well, I'm glad I did. The most important thing I could do was make a child believe in Santa Claus.
And now, having completed the masterful repairs, he gently places the rare violin under his chin, raises the precious bow, and draws it across the muted strings.
Nothing like classical music. Gee, I got to run over to Mrs. Bradley's. I'll try to call Betty once more.
Hello?
Hello, can I speak to Betty?
Listen, Blank, how many times must I tell you Betty doesn't want any part of you?
But Willie!
All right, Willie, I'll talk to him. So you are going out with another girl. No, Blank, I never want to see you again. And furthermore, I would marry you on a bet.
Oh, Betty, you can't mean that. You were going to be the mother of my children.
Well, it's too late.
Well, I don't mind about myself, Betty, but what am I going to tell all those kids? Betty, if you don't give me a chance to explain, I'll drown myself. I'll go right out and throw myself in the reservoir.
I don't care.
Betty, do you realize you have to drink that water?
You have nothing more to say to me, Mel Blanc. Goodbye.
Oh, who has time for petty arguments? I gotta go. Got a big job to do today. Uh-oh, here comes Mr. Cushing, my lodge president.
Hello, Mel. Ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga.
Greetings, mighty potentate. Ugga-ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga. Well, what's the matter, mighty potentate? You're not looking so well.
Well, Mel, I woke up this morning on my left side.
Oh, what's so bad about that?
That's the side that faces my wife. Every morning I get up, and there she is, yawning with her mouth wide open. I tell you, Mel, it's like living in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, I don't know, mighty potentate. You can find beauty in every person if you only dig deep enough.
Mel, I have no room in my garage for a steam shovel. And now she's got that new mine detector in the house.
Mine detector?
Yeah. Every time I put my hand in a purse for some extra cash, she yells, "Stop, that's mine." What a woman, if you'll pardon the expression. But I don't know why I'm telling you all this. It's just that I've got no one to talk to. Well, so long, Mel. I suppose I'll see you at Colby's party.
Well, I'm not going there, mighty potentate. I promised to play Santa Claus for Widow Bradley's boy, Bobby.
Well, that's a noble gesture, my boy. Well, I can't stop to talk now, Mel. I got to go to Colby's, and I have to get a substitute present for my wife.
Oh, but you told me you got her one last week.
Oh, I did. I had it all Christmas wrapped. I tied a red bow on it, put a do not open till Xmas sticker on it, and I hid it under her bed.
Well, don't tell me she opened it before Christmas.
Yeah. During the night, she heard the darn thing ticking. Well, so long, Mel.
Goodbye, mighty potentate. A merry boo and a happy new ugga to you. Well, I got to get a Santa Claus suit and go to Mrs. Bradley's now. I never thought it would get me in so much trouble, but it's worth it if I make that kid believe in Santa Claus.
Gosh, Mom, let's go to sleep. It's 9:30 already.
Oh, let's not be so hasty, Bobby. What would you say if a man came down the chimney?
I'd say, look, Mom, a burglar. Well, I'm going upstairs anyway. I'm tired. Night, Mom. Merry Christmas.
Oh, just a moment, Bobby. I think
Oh, Dancer! Oh, Prancer! What's that first step? Missed that first step. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, Bobby!
Hey, Mom, look. What is it?
That's Santa Claus, Bobby.
That's right, my boy. Just came from my igloo.
Igloo? What's that?
A Quonset hut made out of ice cubes. Oh, it was cold and barren, but I was lucky to get it. It was formerly owned by a veteran.
Mom, he really is Santa Claus.
I told you, Bobby, there really is a Santa Claus.
Only one? Why, there are hundreds all over the world. In fact, I just came from the Santa Claus Convention at the North Pole.
A Santa Claus convention?
Yes? You should have heard the Scandinavian Santa Claus. He said, "By Jompen Jiminy, we're going to make all the little girls and boys very happy. So a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Smorgasbord." And the Santa Claus from Scotland got up and he said, "How I ever become a Santa Claus, I'll never know. All I do is give things away. It ain't like me." Then the fellow from Italy got up.
They have a Santa Claus in Italy, too?
Sure, Giuseppe Claus. He got up and he said, "I got the worst job of all. It's a breaking of my back to carry this stuff. Every house you got to tend the bambinos. I got to put on more help. Either that or my sled, she's got to have a trailer." And the Brazilian Santa Claus said to the convention, "I hope you all have a very good Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're going to make all the kiddies very happy because our slogan is, South America, give it away." And then the convention was closed by the Russian delegate, and he sang, "Love your dam, the artist, los labes, kruzhnikoya, jupajalakrofnamasnasle, bye! Kravonia Christmas!"
Santa, do you have any toys for me?
Oh, Bobby, we mustn't ask for everything. You have your old toys. It isn't necessary for Santa to bring new ones.
Oh, that's quite all right, Mrs. Bradley. I've plenty of toys for Bobby.
You have?
Why, sure. I'll take them out of my bag. Here's roller skates, water pistols, a chemical set, and a hockey stick. Now, let's see now. Yep, $11 worth.
Gee, Mom, we've got everything this Christmas.
Oh, yes, Bobby. Thank you, Santa. I wish we could have a big party for you, Santa.
Oh, that's quite all right. We're having a great party right here. Let's sing, huh? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride
wonder what Betty's doing right now.
Oh, come in.
Hello, Bobby. Merry Christmas.
Mr. Cushing and Mr. Colby and... Betty.
Mel, darling, why didn't you tell us Mr. Cushing explained everything?
That's right, Mel, and I feel good. I almost feel good enough to go home and kiss my wife. Blindfolded, of course.
Mel, my boy, you've done a wonderful thing. You wouldn't come to our party, so we brought the party to you. Oh, and here's some gifts for Bobby. Druggist Brown, didn't you have something?
Oh, yeah. Here, Bobby, my boy. 100 of them, and each one good for a soda.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Brown. A box of straws.
Oh, this is so wonderful. Everybody's here. The mayor, the chief of police, the... Hey, where's Willie Murdoch?
That troublemaker. I fired him. What's more, I was going to break every bone in his body.
On Christmas, Mr. Colby?
Well, I thought of that, Mel, so I just broke every other bone.
Gosh, Betty, that was a wonderful party, wasn't it?
You were wonderful, Mel. This is the best Christmas I've ever had.
Yeah, except for one thing. You got me a gift, and I haven't got a present for you.
Oh, that's all right, darling. I know what you did with the money. And I'm going to give you a hug for the hockey stick, for the water pistol, for the chemical set, and 2 hugs for the roller skates.
Why didn't I get Bobby that bag of jelly beans? Oh, wait a minute, Betty. I do have a Christmas present for you.
You do? What is it?
Come closer.
Oh, Mel. Everybody's looking and listening.
Listening? Where?
Can't you see the microphone there?
Oh, gosh. You can't do a thing around here without millions of people listening in. Well, we hope you keep on because we love it. Good night, folks, and a very Merry Christmas to you all.
Colgate tooth powder, keep smiling just bright. Use it each morning and use it each night. Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
If you're looking for romance, be very sure that no little breath of trouble, unpleasing breath, will come between you and your heart's desire. Just do this. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate tooth powder. For Colgate tooth powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, night and morning and before every date. Yes, scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. As for cleaning, no dentifrice at any price will clean your teeth more quickly and thoroughly than Colgate tooth powder. Remember the name, Colgate tooth powder, with the accent on powder.
Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
This is Bud Easton reminding you that Colgate tooth powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you the Mel Blanc Show every Tuesday at this time. Be sure to join us again next Tuesday night for more fun with Mel and the people you'll meet in Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop.
78 years ago, December 24th, 1946, the Mel Blanc Show, here on the Mount Wheeler Power Christmas Show on KELY. When we wrap this up, we'll have an episode of Orson Welles' program for Lady Esther, 83 years ago, December 22nd, 1941, and the story of the Happy Prince.
Greetings, this is Bill Ritchie, Operations Manager at Mount Wheeler Power. As the holiday season unfolds, I ask that you take a moment to acknowledge the hard-working linemen of Mount Wheeler Power and move your blessings. When an outage throws a wrench into your plans, our dedicated team of linemen are there to respond. They work tirelessly, day and night, in the most challenging weather conditions to restore your service swiftly and safely. These remarkable individuals are your neighbors, friends, and perhaps even family members who brave extreme conditions to ensure reliable comfort and convenience for you. Our team of linemen embodies a collective 264 years of expertise and experience, which they put to use every single day, standing by 24/7, 365 days a year to serve our communities. Being an electrical lineman requires a unique set of trades, and we are proud to say that we have managed to gather the best of the best over the years. Their dedication to the cooperative principles that we uphold at Mount Wheeler Power is commendable. So as we sit in the comfort of our warm homes, enjoying such luxuries as these timeless radio shows brought to you by Mount Wheeler Power, let's spare a thought for these unsung heroes.
We wrap up the Mount Wheeler Christmas show with an episode of Lady Esther presents Orson Welles, 83 years ago, December 22nd, 1941.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. I just read you the story of the Nativity as told by St. Luke in the Bible, according to King James. Good evening, everybody, and Merry Christmas. This is Orson Welles bringing you another radio show for Lady Esther, a Christmas show.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day.
Christmas is a time for warm spirits and high feelings. The season to hang a holly wreath on your door and set up a fir tree near your heart. The season when everyone's heart beats a little faster, including the postman. And at this time of year, for 10 cents worth of mistletoe, you can kiss anybody you want to. It's the only time of the year a lot of people ever sing a song.
Good King Master of the South, on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay on the
Above all, it's the time for good things. For plum puddings and Santa Claus and Dunder and Blitzen and Tom and Jerry. Here in America, our way of celebrating Christmas, like our very population, comes to us from many lands. From the old Scandinavian druids, we've taken the mistletoe and the happiness it stands for. From the French, we've learned to sing a glad Noel. From England, we've adopted holly and the Yule log. From the old legends of Middle Europe, we've taken the Christmas tree, and the first chimneys Santa Claus ever climbed down were in Holland. We've made certain changes. American children know, for instance, that wooden shoes won't stretch while stockings will. But the changes aren't the important thing. What doesn't change is what's important about Christmas. And on this Christmas 1941, that's a good thing to remember. God rest you merry, ladies and gentlemen. Let nothing you dismay. We send you with this program the warmest greetings of Christmastide. Goodwill toward all men of goodwill throughout the world. Our story tonight is an apostrophe to the spirit of giving. It's one of the first things my mother ever read to me. Your mother probably read it to you. It's called The Happy Prince. We'll do it for you in just a minute. Right. Now here's the story of The Happy Prince. High above the city, on a tall column, stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes, he had 2 bright sapphires, and a large ruby glowed on his sword hilt. He was very much admired indeed. One night there flew over the city a little swallow on his way south to the pyramids in Egypt. He stopped when he saw the statue on the tall column.
I will put up here for the night. This is a fine position with plenty of fresh air. I have a golden bedroom.
Just as the swallow prepared to go to sleep, a large drop of water fell on him.
What a curious thing. There's not a single cloud in the sky. And yet it's raining. The climate here in the north is really dreadful.
Then another drop fell.
What's the use of a statue if it cannot keep the rain off? I must look for a good chimney pot.
But before he'd opened his wings, a third drop fell, and he looked up and saw... what did he see? The eyes of the Happy Prince were filled with tears, and tears were running down his golden cheeks.
Who are you?
I am the Happy Prince.
Why are you weeping then?
When I was alive and had a human heart, I did not know what tears were. My courtiers called me the Happy Prince, and happy indeed I was, if pleasure be happiness. Now that I am dead, I am up here so high, I can see all the ugliness and all the misery of my city. And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose but weep.
What? Isn't that solid gold?
The swallow said this to himself. He was too polite to make any personal remarks out loud.
Far away in a little street, there is a poor house. One of the windows is open, and through it I can see a woman seated at a table. Her face is thin and worn, and she has coarse red hands, all pricked by the needle, for she is a seamstress. She is embroidering passion flowers on a satin gown for the loveliest of the Queen's maids of honor to wear at the next court ball. In a bed, in the corner of the room, her little boy is lying ill. He has a fever and is asking for oranges. His mother has nothing to give him but river water, so he is crying. Swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby out of my sword hilt? My feet are fastened to this pedestal, and I cannot move.
I am waited for in Egypt. My friends are flying up and down the Nile and talking to the large lotus flowers.
Swallow, little swallow, will you not stay with me for one night and be my messenger? The boy is so thirsty, and the mother is so sad.
It's very cold here, but I will stay with you for one night and be your messenger.
Thank you, little swallow.
So the swallow picked out the great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roofs of the town. He passed by the palace and heard the sound of dancing. A beautiful girl came out on the balcony with her lover.
How wonderful the stars are, and how wonderful is the power of love.
I hope my dress will be ready in time for the state ball. I have ordered passion flowers to be embroidered on it, but the seamstresses are so lazy.
He passed over the river and saw the lanterns hanging to the masts of the ships. At last he came to the poor house and looked in. The boy was tossing feverishly on his bed, and the mother had fallen asleep. She was so tired. In he hopped and laid the great ruby on the table beside the woman's thimble. Then the swallow flew back to the happy prince and told him what he had done.
It is curious, but I feel quite warm now, although it's so cold.
That is because you have done a good action.
And the little swallow began to think, and then he fell asleep. Thinking always made him sleepy. When day broke, he flew down to the river and had a bath.
Tonight, I go to Egypt.
The swallow was in high spirits at the prospect. When the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince.
Have you any commissions for Egypt? I am just starting.
Swallow, will you not stay with me one night longer?
I am waited for in Egypt. Tomorrow my friends will fly up to the second cataract. The river horse couches there among the bulrushes, and on a great granite throne sits the god Mammon.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow. Far away across the city, I see a young man in a garret. He is leaning over a desk covered with papers. He is trying to finish a play for the director of the theater, but he is too cold to write anymore. There is no fire in the grate, and hunger has made him faint.
I will wait with you one night longer. Shall I take him another ruby?
Alas, I have no ruby now. My eyes are all that I have left. They are made of rare sapphires, which were brought out of India 1,000 years ago. Pluck out one of them and take it to him. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play.
Dear Prince, I cannot do that.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, do as I command you.
So the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the student's garret. It was easy enough to get in as there was a hole in the roof. Through this he darted and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. And when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire.
I'm beginning to be appreciated. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play.
The next night, the swallow flew back to the happy prince.
I am come to bid you goodbye.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not stay with me one night longer?
It is winter, and the chill snow will soon be here. In Egypt, the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them. My companions are building a nest in the temple of Baalbek. Dear Prince, I must leave you. But next spring I will bring you back 2 beautiful jewels in place of those you have given away. The ruby shall be redder than a red rose, and the sapphire shall be as blue as the great sea.
In the square below, there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall in the gutter, and they are all spoiled. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home some money, and she is crying. She has no shoes or stockings, and her little head is bare. Pluck out my other eye and give it to her, so her father will not beat her.
I will stay with you one night longer, but I cannot pluck out your eye. You would be quite blind then.
Swallow, swallow, little swallow, do as I command you.
So he plucked out the prince's other eye and darted down with it. He swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. Then the swallow came back to the prince.
You are blind now, so I will stay with you always.
No, little swallow. You must go away to Egypt.
I will stay with you always.
And he slept at the prince's feet. All the next day he sat on the prince's shoulder and told him stories of what he had seen in strange lands. He told him of the red ibises who stand in long rows on the banks of the Nile and catch goldfish in their beaks, of the Sphinx, who is as old as the world itself and lives in the desert and knows everything, of the king of the mountains of the moon, who worships a large crystal, of the great green snake that sleeps in a palm tree and has 20 priests who feed it with honey cakes, and of the pygmies who sail over a big lake on large, flat leaves and are always at war with the butterflies.
Dear little swallow, you tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of men and women. There is no mystery so great as misery. Fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there.
So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful houses, while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of starving children looking out listlessly at the black streets. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen.
I am covered with fine gold. You must take it off, leaf by leaf, and give it to my poor.
Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked off, till the happy prince looked quite dull and gray. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier, and they laughed and played games in the street. Then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost. The streets looked as if they were made of silver. They were so bright and glistening. Long icicles like crystal daggers hung down from the eaves of the houses. Everybody went about in furs, and the little boys wore scarlet caps and skated on the ice. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder. He would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking. Tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just enough strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more.
Goodbye, dear prince. Will you let me kiss your hand?
I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow. You have stayed too long here.
It is not to Egypt that I am going. I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep, is he not?
And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue, as if something had broken. The fact is that the leaden heart had snapped right in two. Certainly it was a dreadfully hard frost. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town councilors. As they passed the column, he looked up at the statue.
Dear me, how shabby the happy prince looks. And here is actually a dead bird at his feet. We must really issue a proclamation that birds are not to be allowed to die here.
And the town clerk made a note of the suggestion. So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince. And then they melted the statue in a furnace. And the mayor held a meeting of the corporation to decide what was to be done with the metal.
We must have another statue, of course. It shall be a statue of myself.
Of myself?
Of myself. Of myself.
Said each of the town councilors, and they quarreled. When I last heard of them, they were quarreling still.
What a strange thing.
Said the overseer of the workmen at the foundry.
This broken lead heart will not melt in the furnace. We must throw it away.
So they threw it on a dust heap, where the dead swallow was also lying. Bring me the two most precious things in the city, said God. to one of his angels. And the angel brought him the leaden heart and the dead bird. You have rightly chosen, said God. For in my garden of paradise, this little bird shall sing forevermore. And in my city of gold, the happy prince shall praise me. That was Wilde's The Happy Prince. The music was by Bernard Herrmann. There's more to our Christmas show, but right here I'd like to tell you the good news about next week's program. Our store is a new one, and it's the best thing of its kind that's come our way this year. And our guest is Miss Rita Hayworth. Now about tonight. I'm going to do something of G.K. Chesterton's. I stumbled on it the other day. It isn't new, but it isn't very well known either. It might have been written especially for tonight. Especially for this Christmas, 1941. Our whole program tonight is intended to be a sort of radio Christmas card from Lady Esther and from all of us in the Mercury to you. From Bernard Herrmann, who composes all our music and conducts it. From Harry Esman, who makes the sound effects. From our engineer, Gary Harris. From Claire Olmsted and Jack Moss. From lots of people whose names we never mention on the radio, but without whom we wouldn't have a show. And also from those we do mention. From Ray Collins.
Merry Christmas!
From Agnes Moorehead.
Merry Christmas!
From Joseph Cotton.
Merry Christmas!
From Edgar Berrier, Erskine Sanford, Gus Dilling, and Tim Holt.
Merry Christmas!
And way out there in New York, from Paul Stewart, Alice Frost, Betty Gard, Everett Sloan, Chubby Sherman, Eustace Wyatt, and George Coulouris. And from all the Mercury people in Chicago, and from the Robert Mitchell Boy Choir, and from the orchestra, and from everybody.
Merry Christmas!
And of course, really, no proper Christmas card is complete without a few gay rhymes.
And of course, Joe's right. We want our greetings to be as hospitable as any host, inviting you in on Christmas morning.
Come, bring with a noise, me merry, merry boys, the Christmas lawn to the firing. For my good dame, she bid you all be free, and drink to your heart's desire.
We want our greeting to be as generous as the beggars.
Christmas is coming, the geese are getting fat. Please to put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, God bless you.
We want our greeting to be as logical as the farmers.
At Christmas, play and make good cheer. For Christmas comes but once a year.
You know, those rhymes are really honest-to-goodness old English and American poesy. And now, because we want our greeting to be timely and very beautiful, too, here's the Chesterton poem I promised you. Passionate peace is in the sky, and in the snow is silver sealed. The beasts are perfect in the field, and men seem men so suddenly. But take 10 swords, and 10 times 10, and blow the bugle in praising men. For we are for all men under the sun, and they are against us, every one. And misers haggle, and madmen clutch, and there is peril in praising much, and we have the terrible tongues uncurled that praise the world to the sons of the world. The idle, humble hill and wood are bowed about the sacred birth. And for one little hour, the earth is lazy with the love of good. But ready are you, and ready am I, if the battle blow and the guns go by. For we are for all men under the sun, and they are against us, every one. And the men that hate herd all together to pride and gold and the great white feather. And the thing is graven in star and stone, that the men who love are all alone. Hunger is hard, and time is tough. But bless the beggars and kiss the kings, for hope has broken the heart of things, and nothing was ever praised enough. But hold the shield for a sudden swing, and point the sword when you praise a thing, for we are for all men under the sun, and they are against us every one, and meme and merchant, thane and thrall, hate us because we love them all. Only till Christmas tide go by, passionate peace is in the sky. Good night now. Lady Esther and we of the Mercury wish you everything that's good for your Christmas. We remain, as always, obediently yours. And again, God rest you merry, ladies and gentlemen. Let nothing you dismay.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lady Esther presents Orson Welles, 83 years ago, December 22nd, 1941. And that brings to a conclusion our classic radio shows brought to you by Mount Wheeler Power here on KELY. The Other Side of Midnight follows CBS News here at the top of the hour, and we'll get back to more interesting things. Thank you so much for joining us from Mount Wheeler Power and KELY and me, Wyatt Cox. Merry Christmas to you and yours.